Hey everyone. I had originally intended to do a video every day that my therapist was gone. Um, but yeah, that did not happen. I guess you could say I pretty much shut down. Sunday, which was my grandma's birthday, actually turned out to be a great day. I got to take Preston to the movies, which, oh my gosh, I can't even describe how happy that made me. He had a gift certificate, and we went and saw one of the new animated movies called Wonder Park. Wasn't my favorite kid movie. You want to get down, Paisley? I don't think it was his either, but the experience, it was just the best ever. And then he had made me a surprise. It was a beautiful cake that had green frosting for St. Patrick's Day, which was, my grandma's birthday, and that was one of her favorite colors. And the inside he made the cake pink, or purple, which was my grandma's other favorite color. And it just, it made my heart so happy. I'm so lucky to have such a wonderful kid. He is the funniest, kindest, smartest, most handsome kid. God, I'm just very, very blessed. Monday came around, and that's when things started to get really bad. I got one notice, which I'm not going to talk about because it's just going to cause me anxiety. And there's nothing I can do about it on a Friday night. The other notice, and I'm not going to go into detail too much. I think you guys, if you've watched my videos, know that my apartment has been under renovation for months now. And I have made a point not to mention names or to really go into too many specifics of the true hell that they have put me through. And when I say me, there are other tenants that have been affected. I'm a hermit. I pretty much stick to myself. So I don't really know anybody else in their story, really. So I can only speak my own. So when I say me, don't just think I'm the only one that's been affected. But, yeah, this whole apartment thing, it has really turned my world upside down. And I got a note on Monday because we're all supposed to. What we've basically been told, or what I've been told, is, every person that had lived here before that had to go under the renovations, they were going to credit between 3 and 5 days. Meaning there was like between 3 and 5 days where you couldn't use your apartment. Well, those of us, and I don't know how many other ones had been affected, or those of us who, their apartment had been under renovation for way too long, should have been entitled to more. And I got a letter saying that they are giving me $78. That's what all this is amounted to. And that, I think, is really what caused me to shut down. I remember my legal aid attorney Lauren telling me, no matter what amount they give you, it's not going to feel justifiable to what they have done. But my God, $78? That's not even half a month's rent. And like I said, I shut down. I was supposed to go to physical therapy Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Didn't go. And that, for me to miss physical therapy, that's not like me. Not like me at all. I couldn't talk to anybody. I did manage to contact Lauren, my legal aid attorney, and I left her a voicemail on Monday. I tried sending her a YouTube link, so like a private video, that way she wouldn't be wasting time on the phone. But for some reason the video, the URL didn't work. And I'm trying to think of other things that I've done. She did call me back on Wednesday. Was very, very surprised about that amount, and was going to get back with me. So I'm still waiting on that phone call. I didn't really talk to anybody other than her, besides canceling appointments. I couldn't. And I'm still slowly coming back. Today was my first day back at physical therapy. Today was my first day. I went to Allegiance, the hospital, and met with the case worker there to try to help with some resources. But that's really been about it. I did reach out to people in my support system, which I haven't reached out to everybody, but I wasn't reaching out to anybody. So slowly starting to come back. I just keep repeating in my head, and I know I have got to let it go. And I know the statement is not true, but I'm worth $78. All of this for $78. And then my mind then goes to the workman's comp thing. And of course the disability thing. But more so the workman's comp. Because sometimes I just wonder, like, was it worth it? And I guess it's all in my mindset. Because sometimes I can think of the workman's comp thing and think to myself, you won twice. That's something to be proud of. Not too many people can say that. But then when I'm feeling the way I am right now, I think to myself, okay, you won once. Because hands down, I did. The second time, yeah, I walked away with an amount, but I I gave up so much. And is that all I'm worth? Is that because that accident, that injury, that process, it's cost me I feel like my life's never going to be the same. So was that worth it? What was the point? Did I really fight so long and put up with so much? You have no idea. Because when you're going through a workman's comp thing, you are gonna walk away with emotional baggage with that. I'm talking my story. I mean, maybe there's somebody out there that has gone through battles with workman's comp and has a positive experience. And if they have had a positive experience, I would love it if they would let me know and didn't walk away with some type of emotional scar. Especially someone who, yeah, my injury, it looked at the beginning like, well, at the very, very beginning, the ER thought it was, I think they ruled it as a contusion because it was so sprained. So we go from a contusion to one broken bone to two broken bones. So I've got a broken foot. And now I'm never going to walk the same from that injury. When you're talking a workman's comp case, I suppose, where the person didn't injure themselves in a way to where it was going to physically change the rest of their life. Maybe you would be okay with an amount. I guess that would be the only way I would be okay with an amount. The fact that I walked away with an amount but physically I will never ever walk the same. I mean, fingers crossed, I'll be able to walk without a cane one day. Though, to totally change the subject and try to end this video, because I'm starting to feel cold, and when like my hands and feet get cold is when I've noticed like I'm about ready to kind of just check out. So I'm going to try to wrap this up. But I can say in regards to my cane, I ran into a stranger today that I don't even remember how my cane got brought up. Oh, he said something about, I'm used to seeing you do you always use that? Or something like, it was something along those lines. And I said, yeah, pretty much for the past couple of years. Always got it with me. And he said, why do you look so sad about it? And I said, because it's not something I'm proud of. You know, I'm a little bit embarrassed. I'm 36 years old. I shouldn't be walking around with a cane. And he's like, well, don't look at it that way. You're just looking at it the wrong way. And me being the smart ass that I am, said, how else am I supposed to look at it? 36 years old, got a cane. He said, you hold your head up and you look at it as an accessory. Accessories are in. You look at it as your pimp accessory. That's your pimp stick. And it put a smile on my face. It made my day, like, and it did give me a totally different outlook. Like, that is a awesome way to look at it. That's my pimp stick. So yeah, that was a random act of kindness that was pretty cool. I wish I knew the guy's name. I don't, but that was really neat. Other random act of kindness, and then I'll end, is today was the first day that, I went back into the Dollar Tree with Paisley since that woman verbally harassed me. And I was a little bit hesitant. I'm not gonna sit here and, be like this big badass and be like, oh, well, I just got out of the car and walked in there with no problems. No, I was a little bit nervous because, today was my first day out, and, I was already emotionally fragile, and I'll be honest, I would not have been able to take. I took what that woman gave me the other day pretty well. I would not have been able to take it today. So I finally go in there, and I see the guy that had helped me the last time, and he asked me if everything was okay, and I said, yeah. And he goes, well, we've been worried about you. You haven't been back in. And one of the other cashiers that I'm used to seeing, who has seen me and Paisley, Paisley, here, let me put this out and I'll see if I can get her. Usually when Paisley and I go in there, that's usually the cashier we go to. Well, she was off that day, so she didn't know anything about it. And she heard the guy told her, Paisley, come here. Good girl. Sorry, she was sleeping. Oh, I'm sorry. I know. But anyways, the woman cashier heard the story, and she said, you don't ever have to worry about that when you come in here. And she said, if I would have been working, she goes, excuse my language, but if they would have fucked with you, I would have fucked with them. Nobody's gonna fuck with you or your dog. And I am not a hugger at all. Especially not to strangers. And that right there was so nice. I gave her a hug. It was so nice, and you could tell she was being so genuine. And then the guy that helped me the day before, he was like, yeah, you don't ever have to worry about it. We've got your back. And people know what she looks like, and she's not going to be allowed back in here. And I don't know, it made me feel safe. It made me feel cared about, which is something I really needed to hear and feel. And now I know 100%. And I knew that pretty much after I left the store the last time, but now there is like no doubt in my mind that I can go in that store and anybody tries the crap that woman did, and they will not get away with that. And that is a very, very good feeling. It's almost like I have another safe bubble, which for those of us who have, whether you have complex PTSD, PTSD, you can have a lot of different issues, and you need like those safe bubbles. They're everything to us. And I mean, I have the Dollar Tree. I have Cora, my therapist's office. You know, there's a few friends that are safe, that are like a safe bubble. But you know, my bubble it's very, very small. And I know in order to get better, I have to make that bubble bigger. It can't be as basic as, okay, my safe people, you know, I got my wonderful puppy dog, Paisley, and I've got the best kid in the entire world. But I need to start those basic skills again of not every single thing in the world is going to hurt me. Not every single person in the world is out to get me. And I also need to learn that not every fall is going to break me. I think that's... Stop licking that, Paisley. I think that's the biggest lesson that I need to learn. The most important that I need to learn first to heal physically. Because I know my fear of falling affects the way I walk, because I guard my... It's very hard to describe how I walk, but one of the reasons why I do is because I have trained... I had to reteach myself how to walk. But now I'm so scared of falling because, you know, almost 4 years ago I fell. And it changed my world. So that's why I am so afraid of falling now. But not every single fall is going to break me. It's okay to fall. It's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to ask for help. So I don't know. I know I keep saying I'm going to end this, but I keep rolling this question in my head of, was it worth it? In regards to the disability. Because the disability wasn't a choice. I can't work. I am so mentally ill and physically, I can't do it. There is no way for me to do it. But had I not injured myself, I would have never needed to apply for disability. the only way disability is going to be worth it is if I win. I walk away with a win. Because I don't have another choice. I can't work right now. And Monday we're going on 3 weeks since the hearing. And I know it's not surprising that I haven't heard anything, but I need to hear something. Like, something has got to give. Please, for the love of God, let something give. Because everybody keeps saying, you know, you've held out this long, Rachel. You can do it. Held out this long. Yeah, I've held out this long. We're going on 4 years. Damn near 4 years since I broke my foot. And it needs to be over soon. Because I can't close this chapter on my life until I get an answer on disability. In this chapter, it needs to be closed. And I thought I was going to be able to close it once workman's comp was done. But it didn't close it. Because it wasn't like, well, my foot was healed and I could just miraculously go to work. No, I couldn't. And I'll never forget what my physical therapist said to me. And he never meant, I don't think he meant it to affect me the way it did, but it's still, I can still hear it. When I told him, because he was one of the people that I did tell, you know, that it was over and everything like that. And he said, okay, now the sand starts falling. I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, you've heard of those hourglasses where they have quicksand in them, you flip them over, and, you know, as time runs out, the sand drops into the other end. And I said, yeah. And he goes, and that's what this is. You've got until that money runs out. And you've got to hope you've got disability at that point. Or that you're able to walk and you've gotten to where you can mentally do this. And, you know, I've carried that this whole time. And that's why I couldn't close that chapter. Because the time was ticking. Time was running out. And there's a little bit of sand left. Just hope there's enough.